To all good Samaritans, it is my pleasure to write this note of thanks to you for the 40 wonderful years that you've given to this community, and all of the great care and compassion and concern that you have demonstrated in your journey from good to great. Many, many years ago, when I bequeathed this land for the building of a hospital, little did I know that you would do so much to honor my name and reputation. You truly have learned the secret that I know from our business downtown of customer service and of doing all the little things every day that make the difference. Our customers return to our store, and your patients certainly return to you. It is my pleasure to join in celebrating the 40 years that this hospital has known, and to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you and God bless. Thomas J. O'Neill.
The story of our founder, Mr. Thomas O'Neill, is a wonderful story. He was a very well-known merchant in downtown Baltimore, and in 1904 there was a fire, and this fire was threatening his department store, which was originally known as one of the best department stores in the Baltimore area. He then went to the Basilica at the time and prayed that God would spare his store. By the time he got back to the store, the wind had shifted and saved his store. He went back to the Basilica and said, thank you, God, for saving my store, and in return for that, when I die, I'm going to leave all my money to build a new cathedral and a new hospital. The cathedral is the Cathedral Our Lady of the Queen on Charles Street, and the hospital he built was Good Samaritan Hospital. So it's a wonderful story of somebody who gave of his treasure to perpetuate his legacy of providing service to others.
I've been here since 2 weeks before the very first patient.
At the time that I started, we had not had a patient to come in. During the first couple of months, we were just getting the department together, but after that, it was time to get our first patient. And do I remember him? Very much so. He was an elderly gentleman coming in for rehab. His name was Robert Nicholson, and I can even recall his facial features and the awe that he presented to us when coming through the door, because the entire hospital was there to greet him and to welcome him to the opening of a new hospital.
My memories of the first day was the amount of people that were outside waiting for the first patient to come. It was only the one patient, and there must have been 25 or 30 people waiting for him to come to be admitted.
My grandma was one of the first employees here. The hospital opened up in 1968, and she used to bring me up here when I was a young kid to pick her up, take me around her hospital, as she used to call it.
In the beginning, there was such a very neat feeling. People were energized to come to work here. There was something special about it from the very beginning.
I've been here for 35 of the 40 years here at Good Sam, and many things in life have changed, and how we take care of patients has changed. The things here at Good Sam that haven't changed is that the patients are first, and whatever they need and whatever you can do for them to make their time easier, Good Sam gives you the tools to do that, and not all the other facilities around give the nurses that kind of empowerment.
Everybody has contributed to this success of this place, I would say. Everybody in their own place, and the physicians, administrations, all the staff has done their part to bring this place to where it is today.
I don't think it. I know our staff always puts the needs of the patient and then their support system, their families and their significant others and their friends at the center of what they're trying to achieve.
Good Samaritan is a community hospital. It does serve the community around here, which I happen to live. I always come to Good Samaritan, hopefully not too often when I don't feel well. But it's a great place to work.
Good Samaritan Hospital has a reputation within MedStar in the state of Maryland, and even nationally for service excellence. We are ranked in the top percentile nationally for patient satisfaction in our ER, and it's consistently year in, year out, quarter by quarter, and they do a great job.
When you work at Good Samaritan, you're a member of the family. And every time I talk to Larry Beck, he says I'm still a Good Samaritan, and I will never forget my experiences here. It made me who I am today, and I will always cherish it.
I'm proud to be a Good Samaritan because everybody that works here at Good Samaritan is involved in the excellent patient outcomes that we achieve.
Larry Beck is the same way. I think he does it himself, that is, have a great pride for the hospital, for the job that he do in the hospital, and likewise he wants us to be the same. So you have a number of employees, I guess close to 2,000, who tries to do the same.
I think the reason I love this hospital, it's the neighborhood, I love the people. I can't think of a better place to work. You know, and basically I consult ERs in the South Mid-Atlantic area, and they try to duplicate what we have at Good Sam. It can't be duplicated. It can't be done. He says, how can you get such high patient satisfactions? How you get 90% patient satisfactions year in and year out? I says, I got the greatest patients.
I think that when you've been here for as long as I have, that you think the Good Sam way. You just realize that the patients are here because they need you. They need you to do a lot of different things, and Good Sam does that for them.
Well, the joint experience here at Good Samaritan is a total thing. They don't only stop with the surgery, it's the recovery period afterwards. The massage I received was probably the highlight of the whole thing. That was great. It relaxes you. It makes you forget for a little while about the pain that you might be experiencing from the surgery. So it just was an overall great experience because it starts with the surgery and they just take it right on into the recovery period, and everybody is just very considerate, very helpful. You don't have to worry about waiting for a nurse to come. If you hit the nurse button, somebody's there.
Both my mother and father had been patients here a few years ago, and Good Samaritan took care of them really in a great way.
One of the things that touches home probably the most is when you have a family member who's very ill. When you would take the time, I found out when I brought my family member in, I was thinking that they were going to treat me a little better because I work here. You know, that would be, the assumption would be. What I found out is when my family member went up on the floor and I wasn't there, she was treated like she was the president, like she was CEO. You know? And I'd ask her, how are you treated? What was your service like? And she says they were on me all the time. So I think the personal aspect of, I wanted to see that not just in the emergency room, I wanted to see it on the floor. I wanted to see it from the cleaning staff, from the techs, to the nurses, the LPNs and the RNs, to the attendings. I wanted to see it to the specialties. I wanted that same type of service. I got it.
I really do believe that Good Samaritan is truly about family. That's how it was back in the early days. We had some wonderful times, did some fun things. Especially we used to do employee type activities. We'd have Christmas parties and we'd all dress up as reindeers and somebody would play Santa.
Ice cream day, popcorn day, employee picnic. It seems like just as much as they do for the patient, they do for the employees. So there's a balance.
Good Samaritan Hospital is special because it has special people here. There's been so many nice people that have done so many great things, and I'm proud that I got to be here to see some of this stuff. That's neat.
Each and every Good Samaritan is called upon to deliver great service. Each of us has a role to play at Good Samaritan in providing a unique patient experience for all that we serve.
We're lucky in healthcare because our work is defined as worthwhile work. We want to see patients get better. We want patients to be able to go home, to return to life the way they knew life before they got to the hospital.
A Good Samaritan to me is not one who just does good deeds and who cares for people, but it's a person who has a sensitivity to other people. And it's also an attitude in taking care of the less fortunate.
It's just been really a blessing to me to be able to go out and help people, to be able to provide services that we can bring out from the hospital, and to really feel like I've made a difference in people's lives.
When I go to dialysis, there's one very special nurse. Her name is Julie, and she treats us all like family, and she makes me feel like she really cares. If I'm feeling down, she'll pick me up and then she'll explain things to me. If anything that happens on that machine, she explains it.
One of the great differentiators for Good Samaritan is our ability to provide great service to each and every patient and visitor that comes to us in a time of need.
Healthcare is very serious business. It's life or death in many cases, but again, it's not the technical knowledge you have, although that's extremely important. It's really how you apply that technical knowledge in a service orientation to provide a wonderful experience for the moms, the dads, the aunts and uncles and brothers and sisters and little children who come here for the service that we provide here at Good Samaritan.
I teach all my staff, from students to interns to residents, you must touch the patient 3 times. You shake their hand, you listen to their lungs and heart, and before they leave, you touch them on their shoulder. Is there anything else I can do for you? You know, I have the time. You put your chart down, you sit across from them, and you look at them. 3 minutes. 3 minutes to them seems like a half hour. Gee, he spent a lot of time with me. What's the icing on the cake? You call him back in 2 days.
After we've rendered service, the following day we will call them and see how things are going. That's a wow in terms of service, but more importantly, it's an opportunity to follow up with them if they have any questions about their discharge instructions or any of their continuing care requirements.
All of us work as a team here at Good Samaritan. It seems as though that everybody takes ownership of whatever they do. I know I do. With my little department, I feel like I have to make whatever it is that needs to be done for other departments and the patient right.
I like to practice here because this institute has been really good to me since the beginning.
When I got out of the car at Good Samaritan the day of surgery, I was apprehensive until I really took a look at the name and it said Good Samaritan, and I knew I was going to be fine because the name says it all, and that's exactly how you get treated.
The name of the hospital is Good Samaritan, and that reminds me of the Good Samaritan in the Bible, the one that stopped and helped the one on the side of the road. The Good Samaritan staff will stop and help you on the side of the road.
If Thomas O'Neill were to walk in here today, I think we'd have to just thank him. He, many years ago, gave us the wherewithal to take care of patients the way we should. He endowed us, he put aside money for us to be built, and even within that, somewhere along the line, our founders were smart enough to put money aside for the people who have nothing.
If Thomas O'Neill saw Good Samaritan today, I think he would say, you rock.
I think he would be in awe. He would say, I had never envisioned that a hospital this magnitude would be here providing the breadth of services. We provide services to over 200,000 people a year who come to us in Northeast Baltimore and regionally, and in some cases from around the country. I think he would be in awe because this is a huge complex, a huge campus that would really overshadow even his store if you'd set them side by side at this point. So I think he'd be pretty impressed and pretty proud of what he started, actually.
I just want to say happy anniversary to Good Samaritan. I feel it's my anniversary as well, and it just makes me very happy to be able to celebrate it with the hospital.
'Tis just amazing to reflect back on 40 years of service here at Good Samaritan Hospital. Little did I know, so many years ago when I bequeathed this land, that such a fine work would go on at the hands of such fine professionals. It does my soul good to be able to be here to celebrate this 40 years. And I'm just so grateful and thankful for all that's been done and proud to have my name associated with such a fine group of professionals. God bless them all. Happy 40th anniversary from Thomas O'Neill.